both Russia and Ukraine have been the breadbasket of Europe in terms of wheat. We talked about urging all the European countries and everyone else to end trade restrictions on sending limitations on sending food abroad. And so we are in the process of working out with our European friends what it would take to help alleviate the concerns relative to food shortages.
There is another humanitarian crisis coming this fall, and it has already begun. Russia and Ukraine together typically export more than 25% of the world's wheat. Russia is also a key exporter of fertilizers, and sanctions have caused their prices to spike, potentially endangering upcoming crops. Some experts are warning of a global food shortage and sounding the alarm about a possible increase in world hunger. This really matters here and around the world. So let's discuss and welcome crop scientist Dr. Sarah Taber and Gabriela Boucher, the executive director of Oxfam International, a global network which fights inequality to end poverty and injustice. Gabriela, I turn to you first. We keep hearing and talking all about our own frustrations at the grocery store. But help us understand, if there really is a grain shortage, a wheat shortage, what countries would be hit the hardest?
Thank you. So I've just been back from Somalia, and there I've visited because they're experiencing an unprecedented drought. So it's 3 failed rainy seasons, and there's really an extreme situation that we're trying to avert a catastrophe, really. And Somalia is a country that is entirely dependent on imports of food. So I met with people there who are really with very, very limited supplies and sharing among them, for example, the little water that can be brought out of the boreholes. So we're very concerned about the situation in both Somalia, Ethiopia, and Kenya in terms of drought. And South Sudan has a flood that has been going on now for 5 years. So together it's a hunger crisis that is affecting 21 million people in the Horn of Africa and East Africa.
Sarah, we know we cannot control droughts. We cannot speed up crop growth or hit go on farms. But are there other countries in a position to make up for this probable shortfall from Russian and Ukrainian wheat?
Yeah, I mean, actually, we can increase crop production. Crop futures for wheat started increasing back in November, and people started planting more all around the world. India, in particular, the shortfall from Ukraine and Russia is projected to be about 7 million tons, which sounds like a lot. But India alone is set to export 4 to 6 million more tons than last year. So almost just increased exports from India are set to cover that. The United States has 15 million tons just left over from last year. We planted 4 million more tons of seed. So the United States plus Australia, South Africa, Canada, a lot of wheat exporting countries began preparing for this back in November. So wheat you plant in the fall and you harvest in the spring. And so those larger crops are starting to come in to the point where elevators are not using the same higher prices that the Wall Street brokers are. Like we're starting to get 2 different levels. The people actually in the grain trade are down here and the Wall Street guys are up here. And at some point, they're going to have to come back down and meet. There's some crazy bubble action going on that the crop people are, I mean, the crop prices are going up, but not nearly to the level we're seeing from Wall Street. It's not, the prices they're trading are not reflecting reality, and they're not reflecting what people experienced in crop trade are going along with. So that's interesting to watch. So,
Gabriela, that sounds like very good news. So for the concerns that we have in different parts of the world, specifically where you just left, could this be good news that you could be getting imports from other countries and not need Russia and Ukraine?
Well, I suppose that would need a big change in supply chains. At the moment in Somalia, it's almost 100% wheat from Ukraine and Russia, and it's the same for the rest of the region. And added to that, we have the issue of fuel prices that have gone up as well. So everything has to be distributed across the country in trucks that also use fuel. So that's another of the problems. And to compound everything, of course, these countries have gone into further debt through COVID, and now the situation is that the UN appeal that is for 6 billion for the countries worst affected here has only received 3% of funding. So there is no money also to buy the wheat that would become available. So we are very concerned about that, because we may be facing a really catastrophic situation as the world is not focusing on these crises here in Yemen, in the Sahel. So we need to really bring the world's attention now to avert a real catastrophe.